Teddy Roosevelt, he always spoke softly. He had to use the big stick hardly.
Taft made China open their door.
Which turned out to be a metaphorical store. Woodrow Wilson was a progressive. All the things he did were very impressive.
Ida Tarbell
On
concentrated
exposing large corporations, while other ladies just concentrated on their decorations. Charles Edward Russell always targeted government and social problems. He was so great he could never have fallen. Lincoln Steffens reported on vote of stealing political machines. He couldn't be stopped, must have been in his genes. Jacob Riis showed people New York's disease, crime, and poverty. With his book, he made the world see properly. Muckrakers, always obsessed with corruption and scandals, showing people the light, just like candles. Frederick W. Taylor, telling all about time, showing people with his book isn't a crime. Directed primary with all the votes. Don't you like voting for who you want? Totes. The initiative with introducing legislation. Required votes is an obligation. The referendum with directly proposed laws. People could vote without any flaws. The recall let voters remove an elected official. If it were you, you'd hope people didn't think you were superficial. Robert M. La Follette, he attacked political parties' conventions. From other people, he definitely had different intentions. Elizabeth Cady Stanton convinced delegates the priorities. Winning suffrage, the right to vote should be a seniority. Susan B. Anthony with the New York Association, helping national women's suffrage across the nation. Lucy Stone, leading Boston women's suffrage. With all the things she did, she made plenty of coverage.
Julia Ward Howe, partners with Lucy Stone. She was amazing with all the courage she had shown.
Alice Paul founded the National Women's Party. She helped women be able to be free, creative, and arty. Rose Winslow, arrested for picketing the White House, always spoke her mind, was never quiet as a mouse. Carrie Chapman Catt, NAWSA's leader, she would never sit around and just be a newspaper reader.
Prohibition of alcohol was needed. Women's Christian Temperance Union formed and succeeded. Eugene V. Debs, American Railroad Union leader once, then president of American Socialist Party, as he was no dunce. Sherman Antitrust Act, breaking up companies and restoring competition. John Muir over here lobbying for creation of Yosemite Park in proven condition. Gifford Pinchot, United States Forest Service head. He then fired, going way too far. Insubordination, Taft had said. Richard A. Ballinger becoming Secretary of the Interior, replacing James A. Garfield. Taft wasn't a believer. W.E.B. Du Bois forming Niagara movement to stop racial slurs. A change was needed. Lynching and discrimination happened fast like a blur. Mary White Ovington, shocked by riots. Improvements she will incur. Jane Addams of Hull House, Ida Wells Barnett, and Lincoln Steffens follow go her. With an ADL, but starting improvement. Leo Frank, that poor Jewish man, trialed in Atlanta for murder he did not do. Lynched anyway, they not a fan. Frederick W. Taylor is another progressive dude. Wrote a book of reforms that wasn't too crude. Javette, don't forget, council management system with only one leader bit. John Spargo wrote a book using evidence of child labor. Florence Kelly lived for reforms, looking for help from a neighbor. Lochner versus New York, claiming baker's hours unconstitutional. Mueller versus Oregon, claiming laundry hours suitable. Now,
that was a wrap. Till we not do this again, I need a nap.